I go produce more districts, and they start off, and they're at 250 or 25%, and I'm at 1,100, 110. The override fortune on a portion of those six
Right.
sales is $850 per sale.
Right.
So you're talking about making $4,000 or $5,000 by producing a district,
Okay.
each district.
Right.
So a huge leverage point. If you think about that, that's like 50, 60,000 a year just producing one a month.
Okay.
So there's a huge upside to that. The overrides, though, so if you're a vice president and these guys are regional, so let's say your whole business was top heavy and all the people were regional leader and that was it. You don't have any districts,
Any
divisions, reps, which you should have, but let's say everything's top
Right.
heavy. So if you take the $400 as an override, if you have 25 to 40, which we talked about through 5 or 10 people, build 25 to 40 licensed people, if they did 30 sales a month in this model,
Right.
okay, 30 sales a month, at a $400 override is $12,000 a year just in overrides without you writing any sales.
Okay.
So I think that's the position that really is exciting
Yeah.
if that's what you're going for. And that's
Yeah.
what you said you wanted to do.
Yes.
So we want to build that. And it can take 5 to 12 months part-time, put all this in place. Obviously, we're going to talk to people. So any questions about how this works?
I don't think so.
And again, you got my phone number here.
Right.
Call me 24/7, no issues. My phone, if you look at it right now, you hear me. Even when I did the presentation, it's not on ringer. I'm not looking at my Apple Watch, my phone, anything else. I'm there. I'm in the
Okay.
moment. Same thing, but I turn my ringer off at night, so I might text you at 2, 4, 6 o'clock if I get up for some reason.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
being old, might go to the bathroom. I might text you back. Well, you're not going to wake me up, so.
All right.
All right, let's get the questions answered. All right, so we're good on that.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to set up who we're going to talk to.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just say your daughter, Ellie, right? So Ellie went out with the girls, and they went out to some local club or whatever. There's 4 or 5 of them, and all of a sudden you're giggling crazy, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're in North Carolina or Florida. And you're giggling crazy, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're in North Carolina or Florida somewhere. You're not
Right.
in town.
Right.
And she calls, says, "Mom, my phone's about to die. We're out of gas. We're in like the worst part of town. 4 a.m. and you're out of town."
Right.
So who's the first 5 people you're going to call to go help Ellie? And we'll start with the first one. Who's the first person you would call?
Probably Matt's dad,
Matt's dad. What's
Yeah,
his name? So
David.
you put that down.
David.
You're going to call David. And obviously, that's your father-in-law?
Uh-huh.
So you know him extremely well.
Yes.
Okay, anything about him that you need to know? I mean, if we talk to him about an appointment, meeting us, having a cup of coffee, are we good with
He
that?
would do it. Yeah.
Okay, so who's the second one? David's not available.
Probably my nephew,
Okay, what's his name?
David,
Another David. This
call
makes
him
it easy.
Little
Everybody's
David.
Lil David.
who's not little. He's like 6'5".
Like from the Monkees, Little Davy Jones?
Yeah. No.
Daydream Believer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little David.
Little David.
Yeah.
Okay. If you said you want to meet him for coffee, run some things by him, okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
No problem.
Who was the third person you call?
Claudia.
Claudia. Tell me about Claudia.
Part of the family. Known her for 30 years.
Okay.
Best friend.
All right. So, any problem getting her to sit down and have coffee?
No.
Okay. And I'm going to continue this. If we can get 15 names on here, 20, we're going to go as long as it's easy. And she's coming up with more names. Now, if we start getting people where she says, well, then, or even in the beginning, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe Laura. Well, tell me about Laura. Well, I'll say, what does she drive? This is where you ask them what they drive. They got kids, they got a dog. If they don't know any of these things about the people, this is clearly not a hot market referral. And so what I'm looking for is the hot market people. If they don't have hot market, like clearly Darla looks like she's on her way to getting 10, 12, 15, maybe 20 people that we can go have coffee, do our presentation, show them what we got. I'll also coach her and say that if they say, give you any crap or what is it, just say, look, just hear me out. I need your input on this. And or I would even say, you're probably not interested. That's not even what it's about. I just need your help. And so if they can't get the 5, 10, 15 appointments, some people can't. I had one lady one time say, well, I guess, geez, I don't know. I was just laboring over the first one. I guess my mom. It was like, okay, so would your mom sit down and have a cup of coffee? And it was like, I don't know. At that point, I always have people I'm going to refer them over to get them started in the PFSU, some of the other products we might sell that they can do without a license or just get certified, and keep them engaged, keep them informed. But I have to go find people appointments so we can go sit down. And also had another guy who one time and I guess the appointments fell out, but I didn't know, so I drove an hour and sit down. I'm like, so how do you know each other? And like, well, we met last night at IHOP. I'm like, okay, what do you mean IHOP? Well, we work there, and he told us to come over and meet you. And I'm like, oh, so I know this is a cold one. And one of the ladies, two of them sitting there, says, how much does the insurance cost? And I'm like, I know we were way off, we're outside the fence on this one. And so I told that guy, and we'd been on probably 30, 40 different appointments. I said, hey, I got to grab something out of the truck. I'll be right back. And I went out there for an hour and a half and then came back. Now he smiled, said I signed him up, and I said, that's great, good practice. And the next day he said their money didn't go through. I'm not practicing on cold people. I've talked to people cold. I've gotten to know people. I've gotten names and numbers. Better to get the referral business in the hot market and people who know people who know people. You got to fight there.